should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
The following sports special is a broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR, Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school football. To get you ready for today's play-by-play action, we'll bring you interviews, in-depth analysis, and important game information on the pregame show. So let's get things started by going to the stadium and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Brought it to Washington. Like, I'm buying stuff and doing it today and tomorrow. So, keep your cup, obviously, for today. I only got 20 of them. 10 seconds.
WB Medicine Surgery welcomes Dr. Anthony.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Marius Group, a private wealth advisory practice.
Cardinals playing host to cross-county rival, the 15th seed, the Hedgesville Eagles. Pre-game show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call them at 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. Alongside me on the call is Dylan Bishop. Our on-site producer is John Alderton. Cameramen are Matt Miller and Marcus Jordan. And back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. Last night in the NFL football game on Thursday night, prime time, you had some football weather, right? Old school. A blizzard in Cleveland for that game against the Steelers and the Browns. Tonight, can't say the words that I probably describe this kind of weather, unfortunately. No blizzard, still very cold, very windy, and rain, Dylan. But both teams are fired up and ready to go for round one.
Yeah, I guess we're kind of getting the tail end of that. weather that they were seeing over there. And we've had weather delay some of the playoff games this weekend from today to tomorrow, and of course we've had some other delays in there on starting the playoffs from last week. But hey, we're here a week later than we thought we were going to be, and we're ready to get things going. Spring Mills is back at number 2, where we thought, if you're just going off of what happened on the field, it's where they should have been. And here they are against a team in Hedgesville that they were just able to beat a couple weeks ago, and one of the shutouts that they've had many of this year, where their defense has been stellar. And we'll see if anything can change in this second matchup and this worse weather that we're having. See if this one can be a little closer for Hedgesville, or if Spring Mills is just going to keep on dominating.
Yeah, it was a 33-0 Spring Mills win against Hedgesville just 2 weeks ago to end the regular season, and now here we are with these two teams matched up again in round 1 of the playoffs in 4A. As you said, Spring Mills back at 9-1, 8 of the 9 wins via shutout. They've only given up so far this year a total of 23 points, 6 of them against University, 17 against Martinsburg, and that 17-12 loss. And then on the other side, it's Hedgesville, who started off the year hot. 2-0 start with a win against Rocktown and another one against Kaiser on the road. But it's been just downhill since then, unfortunately, for the Eagles. 2-8 now with that 8-game losing streak, and the offense just has been completely absent for the most part for this team. A very young team, having a lot of injuries yet again this year. You still have a sophomore at quarterback in Chaz Milburn, a few freshmen also having to start. So we'll see if this weather maybe helps them keep it a lot closer, or if the offense can't get anything going. No matter how close you keep it, it doesn't matter because you can't get into the end zone yourself.
Right, I think they've just kind of had a hard time at finding an identity on offense this year, finding the things that work for them, the easy buttons that they can press to find easy yards and go-to sort of plays for them. It's been hard for them to really have those against the really good defenses in the state, like a Spring Mills and Martinsburg as well. So let's see if they can figure anything out like that tonight. If there's any sort of weakness in this Spring Mills defense that they can exploit, or if they can just have some bounces go their way tonight because of the weather. You never know what could happen. A lot of times turnovers can be a product of luck. A fumble happens, but it can sometimes be the unlucky bounce of the ball one way or the other, whether if you're a defense recovering it or if the offense keeps it themselves. So if you can get some bounces that way, and maybe the weather prevents the Spring Mills offense from getting things going, and you can keep this close throughout, then you never know what could happen on 1 or 2 plays that could go your way.
Plenty of space still available here at Cardinal Stadium if you're brave enough to make the trip out and enjoy the game in person. For now, we'll step aside, take our first break here of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. On the other side of that break, we'll have the check of the playoff schedule. This is West Virginia High School playoff football on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The thing I'm most passionate about with my clients is that 95% of them that come to me, they've never been in trouble in their lives. They've got careers, promising futures, things that matter.
So thankfully, after it was all said and done, I had no DUI and I had no more stress facing me or my family.
When you're on the fence whether to hire a DUI attorney, I always say that you really cannot afford not to. My name is Harley Wagner. My law practice has been exclusively focused on driving under the influence cases throughout the state of West Virginia.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Order number 2001.
It's not rocket science. Get a 12-piece chicken for $12 at happy hour from 5 to 7 p.m. with the Rocks app. Want the kids to warm up to you? Get a gas fireplace from Roach Energy. Roach Energy. Call 304-263-3329.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's now time for the check of the playoff schedule, brought to you by Rock's Local Markets. With convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle, fast, fresh, friendly, Rock's. A lot has changed since the last time we had football. Beginning with the Martinsburg Bulldogs, they finished the season with a 44-17 win at Hurricane to go undefeated on the year. But then it was discovered that they had an ineligible player that was used during the Musselman game, which means that counts as a forfeit loss. So Martinsburg's record is now 9-1. However, the Bulldogs are still the 1 seed in the playoffs and will host the 16th seeded Parkersburg Big Reds on Saturday at 4 p.m. You can tune into that game on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube with pregame coverage beginning at 3 p.m. Here's Martinsburg head coach Dave Walker's thoughts on Parkersburg.
Parkersburg has traditionally always had a really good football team. They've got a couple of really good players. I mean, their record doesn't reflect really how good they are. The kids, a couple of their skilled kids are really good players, and their kids run the ball. So it'll be a challenge for us, and it's playoff time, so anything can happen. So we're just excited to get the opportunity to play them. Well, I think their return game is pretty good. Their kicking game is pretty decent. And their return game is pretty good. And like I say, they have a lot of tradition. They've won like 16, 17 state championships. Their kids play really hard.
With the West Virginia Supreme Court ruling in favor of the WVSSAC, the original playoff rating formula stayed in place. As a result, the Jefferson Cougars are the 3 seed in the playoffs. Jefferson finished the year on a 6-game winning streak, capped off with a 40-13 win over cross-county rival Washington to end the year with a 7-3 overall record. The Cougars will host the 14th seeded Cabell Midland Knights tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Here's Jefferson head coach Craig Hunter's thoughts on Cabell Midland.
They started off the year running more of a spread offense, something new for them, what they've done in the past. For the last 5 games I've seen, they went back to somewhat the old style, what they did, just, kind of a little bit of ground and pound. You never know what they're going to do now. Coming into the playoffs, they might pull out all stops. You never know what we're going to see. We're prepared for everything, but, the last 5 games, what you've seen is a ground and pound. So we're going to pretty much try to focus on that as much as we possibly can, and then just get ready for anything else they might throw at us. So I think they might have found their identity within out of those first 5 games, and found their identity going to the second half of the season, and it's been able to get on a roll.
The Washington Patriots finished the year 6-4 overall with a 40-13 loss to Jefferson to end the season, along with the Spring Mills game now counting as a loss once again because of the Cardinals winning their injunction case in Berkeley County Circuit Court. The Patriots are the 9th seed in the playoffs, will travel to Parkersburg Saturday afternoon for a matchup with the 8th seeded Parkersburg South Patriots at 1:30. Here's Washington head coach Terry Ray.
We achieved several goals through the regular season, and we saw a lot of growth and a lot of positive stuff happen this year. Our program's going in the right direction. We're trying to get the community behind everything. We told the kids on Saturday at film that we're in uncharted territories for most of the kids on the team, because I don't think anybody on our team actually made the playoffs.
The Musselman-Applemen went 1-9 on the field, almost finished 3-7 because of 2 forfeit wins, but end with only 1 extra win via a Martinsburg forfeit to finish 2-8 overall. Musselman's last game of the season was a 29-6 loss at Parkersburg. The Applemen are the 13th seed in the playoffs and will head to the island to take on the 4th-seeded Wheeling Park Patriots Saturday at 4 p.m. Here's Musselman head coach Brian Thomas.
They're probably more similar than they are different. They've had a pretty successful season. So, when you're having success, you don't really have to change a lot. Coach Doc does a really good job. He knows how to get his players in the best position and get his playmakers the ball. So he's done that a little bit more. They've kind of figured out ways to move some kids around, get different mismatches. Defensively, they're really well coached and they get after it. So they've grown a lot throughout the season as well. And they do a couple little things different, but they're really good at what they do.
The other Round 1 playoff matchups are number 12 University at number 5 Huntington Saturday at 1:30, number 11 George Washington at number 6 Hurricane tonight at 7 p.m., and number 10 Woodrow Wilson at number 7 Morgantown tonight at 7 p.m. That concludes the Rocks local markets. Check the playoff schedule. Again, our game tonight is the number 2 seed, Spring Mills Cardinals, playing host to the number 15 seed, the Hedgesville Eagles. We'll continue more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show right after this. You're tuned into West Virginia High School playoff football on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
The thing I'm most passionate about with my clients is that 95% of them that come to me, they've never been in trouble in their lives. They've got careers, promising futures, things that matter.
So thankfully, after it was all said and done, I had no DUI and I had no more stress facing me or my family.
When you're on the fence whether to hire a DUI attorney, I always say that you really cannot afford not to. My name is Harley Wagner. My law practice has been exclusively focused on driving under the influence cases throughout the state of West Virginia.
Welcome back to Cardinal Stadium for the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. It is the West Virginia High School Class 4A football playoff, round 1, between number 2 Spring Mills and number 15 Hedgesville. Take a look now at Hedgesville, as we kind of mentioned earlier in the pregame. 2-8 right now, 8-game losing streak in which the offense have averaged about a touchdown a game, just slightly over. It's been rough, I guess, to say the least in that aspect. I already mentioned the youth of this team as well, but they still got some size up front and can still put up a little bit of a fight here. I don't know if it'll be enough, though, to truly compete with the 9-1 Spring Mills Cardinals, Dylan, even though it is a rivalry and you just saw this team 2 weeks ago.
It is. I think the weather will benefit Hedgesville a little bit to try to drag this game into the mud, metaphorically speaking. With the turf field, you might not have so much mud on the field, but metaphorically, dragging the game into the mud to where you make Spring Mills kind of had to condense their offense a little bit, and maybe you won't have as much access to Max Anderson in the pass game deep down the field, which I think has been a very good thing that Spring Mills can go to. And with the 3-3-5 defense that Hedgesville likes to run, you're more so only having that one safety over the top, so it leads to a lot of opportunities, too, if your wide receivers can win on the outside to go down and make those plays deep down the field on the outside on a streak route down the field. So if Spring Mills can't get to that and complete passes like that in this game, then it definitely benefits Hedgesville. Now, will it be enough? We'll see. Spring Mills has a very good run game. Max Anderson included into that, being able to run with the quarterback or hand it off to Blake Sanders or Cam Taylor. And on the other side, I kind of mentioned in the first segment, it just seems like Hedgesville has had a hard time finding an identity with a sophomore quarterback and a run game that has had a little bit of success, but not enough to carry the offense. Dalton Harper on the year, it has almost 600 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, 4.3 yards per carry. Jake Young's at 4.8 yards per carry.
Right. It'll be interesting to see, just to quickly add, if Jake Young will even be in the backfield, because one of the changes that Hedgesville has made here offensively throughout the year is putting Jake Young out as a wide receiver.
And I think they can have some success that way. I mean, on the season, he has 2 receiving touchdowns, 22 catches, 250 yards, just over. So that could be something that they found as an improvement on their offense, to have that guy in the slot that can catch passes for you. I do like the idea of using him as your running back in this game, though, when the weather is like this. Have that more downfield power runner, the downhill power runner, who can just put his foot in the ground and plow through some tackles, rather than being a little more reliant on making guys miss in the open field when you're probably not going to have the best footing possible. And I think it's going to be tough against Spring Mills' defense, because they just pursue the ball so incredibly well. Those linebackers especially, they have a lot of speed that can get to the ball and slow down the run game, that ideally you would have a pass game to do sort of similar what I was talking about, what Spring Mills' offense would maybe like to do, get the ball down the field. But you have a sophomore quarterback who, at a 62% completion percentage is not bad, but only 1,300 yards on the year. They don't throw the ball a ton with Milburn. So I think they have their work cut out for them tonight. But like I said, you never know where some lucky bounces could get you.
Yeah, and then on the defensive side, you really need Levi Faircloth, son of Coach Matt Faircloth, to have a big game no matter where he's lined up. He's your tackle leader alongside Jacob Kerr. Faircloth with 91, Kerr with 87. Levi also with 11 tackles for a loss. So if he's able to disrupt this Spring Mills offense just enough to kind of make them have to spread the ball out instead of just run it down the middle here in this weather with either Blake Sanders, Cam Taylor, or Max Anderson, that will definitely help their cause. Typically, you'll see Faircloth lined up on that defensive line, but you could also see him, depending on what Spring Mills goes out in, at a linebacker spot. We've seen him at many spots throughout that field last year on both sides of the ball. He kind of was just a tooled puzzle piece for wherever you needed him. Even at quarterback at one point you saw him last year now. So if he can be the disruptor that they need him to be, you like Hedgesville's chances a little bit more, but it's still not enough.
The game, more often than not, is won in the trenches. And Levi Faircloth is a nice piece for Hedgesville to try to do that. Spring Mills has, almost every game, except for probably Martinsburg, won the battle in the trenches. It just makes so much of a difference that your run game has the holes opened up to run through, your quarterback has time to throw, versus if your defensive line is winning and you can blow up runs in the backfield, make it so the quarterback has to get rid of the ball quickly. It can be such a night and day difference for some teams. Look at the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff has gotten to a Super Bowl once with the Rams. They had a great offensive line then. The Lions here, one of their main running backs is David Montgomery. You say he was on the Chicago Bears. He didn't do much there. The Lions have a fantastic offensive line that can allow you to get things. Jared Goff, not a mobile guy. He just sits back there, runs the ball. They can run the ball with ease because of their linemen. They can set up play-action passes. He can sit back there with time to throw with no pressure off of it. It makes everything so much easier for your offense if you can win in the trenches.
Step aside, take another break here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, and on the other side of that break, we'll hear from the head coach of the Hedgesville Eagles, Matt Faircloth. You're tuned into West Virginia High School playoff football on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Tomorrow's success begins with today's preparation. Give your child a pathway to flourish and thrive with a well-rounded education. Enrollment is now open at the Classical Christian Academy in Martinsburg. Visit tcca.life/information. Tomorrow's success begins with today's preparation. Give your child a pathway to flourish and thrive with a well-rounded education. Enrollment is now open at the Classical Christian Academy in Martinsburg. Visit tcca.life/information.
If you or someone you know suffers from the disease of addiction, help is available from the Berkeley County Quick Response Team with peer recovery coaches and support promptly to the homes of those who've recently experienced an overdose. This collective effort towards recovery brings resources and services to the community, including naloxone and treatment options. Call 304-267-1313 or visit the Berkeley County Recovery Resource Center at 800 Emmett Rouse Drive, Martinsburg. The Berkeley County Quick Response Team is funded through a DHHR grant with the Berkeley-Morgan County Health Department.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's now time for our coaches interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg at 1400 Trevorstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. Coach Faircloth, the court's decision has finally been made and everything is in place. You guys will take on Spring Mills to begin the postseason the way the regular season ended. Just, I guess, your thoughts for starters on the decision.
I think, for the well-being of the kids, I think it's good that we came to a decision to get these kids back on the field and playing football where they belong.
Coach, how, I guess, difficult was it the last few days not knowing exactly who you guys were going to be playing, and how do you think that affects things Friday night?
For us, we've been preparing for, 3-4 different possible scenarios. So, we've been preparing for, we prepared for Martinsburg. First, we started off preparing for Jefferson. Then we started preparing for Martinsburg. Then there was a possibility maybe Huntington slips in, this, that, or the other. And then, the possibility of always Spring Mills winning their appeal. And, for us, we've been preparing for, 4 different scenarios. Our kids have been, really good about coming in and preparing and knowing what we're trying to do in our game plans for each, and so now at least we're locked in on one.
As I mentioned at the start, you guys take on Spring Mills, the team that you ended the regular season against a few weeks ago. Is it difficult to prepare for a team that you just faced, or does it come a lot easier because you just saw them?
I think for us, I wouldn't say it's easier just for a simple fact of, the product they're going to put on the field. But, we've seen them live action, and, that's always good when you've been on the field with them already. So your kids, sort of know what to expect with the speed and the strength and the scheme. So for us, it's just about cleaning up some things and making sure we're in right alignment, assignment, and knowing where we need to be.
Quick follow-up to that is, how do you make sure, I guess, on the difficult side of things, in my mind, was that you don't kind of over-adjust the game plan going in?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we're not going to change what we did. I think there were some things that we have to critique as far as, we were a couple times we slid inside when we should have been outside on some coverage stuff. Lost contain on one time just because we slid too far inside as a defensive man. It's just little things like that to clean up and, try to put ourselves in the right spot 100% of the time instead of, 75 or 80%.
And Coach, you guys did some good things in that game. You were competitive in terms of not being down by too many points for a while. So what's, I guess, the team's confidence level heading into this game in terms of you were able to do some good things? And like you said, it's not so much what you did, but more so how you did it in some of those plays.
Yeah, I think, we took our guys out at halftime. Just, we couldn't afford to lose anybody to injury in that second half and have anybody out for the playoffs. But, up until those guys, came out of the game, I thought we were really, really competitive on the defensive side. We flew around, put them in some long situations, but when you got a quarterback that can run and throw like Max does, and you got big, long, lanky receivers that they can throw jump balls and stuff too, and they run the ball really effectively. So for us, it's another opportunity to get out here against one of the top-tier teams, but I thought we did some really good things defensively. Offensively, we drove the ball three times. We got inside the 30 driving in, and we just couldn't finish. And that's been a story this year. But, anytime that you can move the ball against a really, really good team like that, you have something going. We just got to figure out a way to finish it.
When talking to you throughout the year, Coach Faircloth, the theme's really been just the youth, it feels like, for your team and kind of the inexperience that is brought along with it, even though as weeks go on, they obviously gain more experience. But now, with them still being young, trying to get them in playoff mode, what are some things that you guys maybe try to do to make sure that they understand it's a winner-take-all, loser-go-home mentality now?
Well, the kids understand now it's, one game you lose, you're gone. But I think, after we told the kids after the Liberty game, there's no such thing as youth and experience anymore. We're 5, 6, 7 games into it. I think by this time you got plenty of experience. They're still young kids, but the experience level, you got 6, 7 games at the varsity level. Now it's time to execute and go out and play football. But they've been getting better, especially those young kids playing in some some pretty key roles. We're starting a freshman on our O-line. Starting some sophomores on our back end, and starting some sophomores on our line, along with some guys at the skill spot. So, I think now there's no excuse of being youthful anymore. Now it's just going out and executing and playing high school football.
And Coach, with the updated rankings, it ended up being that the top 3 teams in the state are from the EPAC. So just, I guess, what does that mean to you and the conference to see that final rating?
I mean, I say it all the time. Anytime that any Friday night in EPAC is a knockdown, drag out. Doesn't matter who you play, just because this conference is so tough. I mean, it just shows you how good the Eastern Panhandle is athletically. I mean, it's not just going to be football. I think it's going to be basketball, baseball, and other sports across the board. This area is flourishing with young talent. And it's only going to get better. I think in the next couple of years, I think the competitive balance is going to level out a little bit, and it's going to be a knockdown drag out.
Heading into this game, how do you make sure that the offensive side of things is a priority to get jump started to be able to compete with the Spring Mills defense?
Looking at the film, seeing what we did last time, what was effective, what wasn't. The last week or so, we went really, really heavy on the offensive side, making sure, we could critique some things that, we didn't take advantage of that we need to. And that's where probably our last 4 or 5 days of prep have been. We got into defense yesterday. We're getting into it again heavy today. We had a team scrimmage on Friday night under the lights, played it like a game. So I think they got some things going. It's just at the end of the day, when the lights come on and the crowd's in the stands, we got to go execute and finish.
All right, Coach, we'll get to our fun question this week. Our question is, would you rather watch a movie or read a book?
Oh, definitely watch a movie. Definitely watching a movie.
What's the last movie that you watched?
Oh, let's see. I'm big on, I watched Lone Survivor, I think, last night, but I've watched a lot of those war movies. So that was my last one, but that's probably my favorite.
All right. Thank you, Coach, for the time. Best of luck against Spring Mills.
Thank you.
That was our coaches' interviews brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. Back with more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show right after this. This is West Virginia High School Football and Talk Radio, WRNR, WRNR TV on YouTube.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
WV Medicine Bariatric and Metabolic Surgery, a department of Berkeley Medical Center, offers comprehensive weight loss programs, both medical and surgical, designed to help you obtain a healthy weight and improve your quality of life. Our team at WV Medicine walks with patients every step of the way, before, during, and after surgery, to provide education, resources, and support. To learn more about WV Medicine Bariatric and Metabolic Surgery in the Dorothy McCormick Center, call 304-901-7080.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show here at Cardinals Stadium. It is the number 2 Spring Mills Cardinals taking on the number 15 seed, the Hedgesville Eagles, here in round 1 of the Class 4A playoffs. Just about 24 minutes away from kickoff for this wet and cold game. Both teams heading into the locker room for their final prep and get their bodies warmed back up after warming up drill-wise out here. Continue the pregame show. Now take a look at Spring Mills so far this year. It has been a wild season, to say the least. A historic season as well for Spring Mills. With a win today, which they're the favorites to do, they would have most wins in a season in school history after last year finishing the year 9-3, losing in the quarterfinals 41-6 at Huntington. But defensively this year is where the historic season has really been, as we mentioned earlier. Only given up 23 points all year in the 9 wins, 8 of them via shutout, Dylan. But this offense has been pretty special too, led by Max Anderson at quarterback along with his brother and wide receiver Xavier Anderson.
Right, Xavier Anderson on the season has 16 catches and 8 of them have been touchdowns. Just pretty impressive to go along with Keon Mills has on 16 catches as well, 7 touchdowns. They only throw the ball about 10 or 11 times per game, and that's a good part of the reason that Max Anderson only has 1,078 passing yards, but he does have 16 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, which is a pretty good ratio there. They just are a team that pounds the rock. They have 156 total rushing attempts on the year, 120 of that to Blake Sanders for 742 yards and 10 touchdowns. And Max Anderson actually leads the team in rushing touchdowns with 11 on 53 carries. He's almost at 620 yards. So good for 11.7 per carry, which is pretty incredible. The defensive side of things has just been sensational, though. As you mentioned, all the shutouts they've had this year, barely giving up any points, with less than 3 points a game. And it's been a number of guys doing the work. Prophet Gilliam, Xavier Anderson, both on the season have combined for 20 tackles for loss and 16.5 sacks. And, Abel Meza has 4.5 sacks to his own name as well. The linebackers get a good bit. Max Anderson has 5. Devin King has 5. And Anderson kind of playing in that linebacker or safety role. But this is a team effort, team defense for sure. And it's been coached incredibly well by Coach Law to where they have just dominated teams. Teams have not been able to move the ball on them. And Hedgesville is one of them. As we saw, that's one of their shutouts this year. It's just 2 weeks ago. So what can Hedgesville do to counteract that and get something going against this defense? It's going to be tough. I don't know if they have the firepower on offense to do it, but we'll see what happens.
A few more fans making the trip out of their cars and into the stands here on this wet and cold night. Almost look like, for those tuned in on our YouTube stream, maybe even a wintry mix out there now, the way things are coming down. One of our cameramen, Matt Miller, doing a great job out there trying to get some shots of the stands and the people in attendance with their umbrellas, their ponchos, and the Hedgesville band, it looks like, in attendance here on the visitor side. I've not seen the home side Spring Mills band out. I don't know if they will be here or not this evening, but we're going to step aside, take another break on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, and on the other side of that break, we'll wrap things up for the final segment of the pregame show. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Football on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive, and this year we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year, completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card. Only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
You feel that in the air? The precision passes of expletives thrown from a jersey-clad warrior to his TV, his dog, or anyone that'll listen. It's time for tailgating and showing off those parking lot picnics. Just remember, when you come out of the fourth quarter to 5 new dents, remember Cody's Auto Body is your MVP. I can erase those dents, just not the memory of your team's awful record. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's now time for our coaches interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. Coach Law, after the wait, playoff football is finally here. You guys are the 2 seed taking on the 15 seed in Hedgesville, a team that you ended the regular season with. Just talk to us a little bit about that situation and how you now get to play a team back-to-back and what the preparation kind of is like for that case.
Well, I think the biggest thing, our guys are excited. We're excited to get back on the football field and kind of pick this thing up where we left off at. And it's kind of one of those things where it's tricky. The bye week is good. It gets you guys healed up a little bit. But at the same time, it's kind of like, after our original bye week is coming out there, and we want to try to get back to the flow and tempo of things that we did when we finished that last game. Playing Hedgesville, there's a good side and bad side. The good side, you both know each other really well. The bad side is, now we got to sit there and try to figure out, so what adjustments do we come out with? What are they going to make as far as adjustment-wise? And it's going to be a hard-fought football game. There's no doubt. And that was one of the things we prepped for our kids as far as before we even went into the game the last time, is that they're going to come out ready to go. And Coach Fairclough and his staff does a really good job of getting those guys ready to go.
Last week, having to wait for the announcement, not knowing who you guys were going to play, what was it like just with the unknown and how to approach the week and still be preparing for football, but at the same time not knowing who you were going to be playing?
Right. Well, I think for us that first couple of days there, we kind of went back to the fundamentals and really trying to sort some things that we saw in film against Hedgesville. And so that was a good job of getting our older guys kind of rested up and getting some of these young guys on the par. But like I said, the flip side of it, it's one of those things. Once we kind of figure out where we were, now it's time to lock in. And again, with the guys like our Max and Keon and our alignments and stuff, we were able to kind of get that focus gelled in exactly what we need to do. And again, kind of solve a relief that, you get to go and play someone that you just kind of did or play within our conference. And it kind of gives you something that you can kind of build off what you've already done.
What are some of those things specifically that you're trying to build off of that you've already done here this week against Hedgesville?
Well, I think we're looking the run game, trying to get our linemen to do a better job of climbing off to these linebackers. I thought Hedgesville did a great job trying to stop our run. They scouted us very well and some things that we've done in the past. So it was one of those things we had to adjust on the fly. As far as the passing game, continue to get the ball out quick. There are some things they kind of gave us that we took advantage of at time, and then at times we kind of went away from. I wouldn't say necessarily forcing anything, but we definitely could have took the easier route on some things that we had available.
What are some things that you feel like Hedgesville did well that you guys need to focus in on this week to make sure they can't do this time?
Well, I think the biggest thing with special teams is they jumped right out of the gate, nearly taking one back to the house. It's a super important. Our guys stay in their lanes as far as kickoff lanes and rally down and get 11 guys down there to the football. Offensively, they did a really good job with their linebackers up in the box, and main focus was they're going to stop the run. And so it was one of those things that we had to run the ball, keep them honest, but we also got to look when we get in the pass game, got to take the easy throws versus some of the things a little bit more harder. Defensively, I think Coach Hessen, they've done a great job all year. But, again, the opening drive offensively for those guys, they kind of moved the ball down the field a little bit. But our guys were able to kind of bow up and get a 3-and-out eventually there. So, again, there are some things, all three phases of the ball, that I'd like to see kind of sold up when we go into our game Friday.
Playoff time, do you feel like your team's in its best shape and playing its best football right now, heading into a situation where one slip-up, the season comes to an end?
Right. Well, like I told the kids today, like I think we're ascending on the way that we need to be ascending to, and try to kind of put in the focus of these seniors. For some of these guys, we don't go out and take care of what needs to be done. This could be your last win season. So we kind of get them to understand like this is super important, a one and done deal. I think they kind of got the point after today, and I think they're ready to go.
All right, Coach Law, anything else? If not, get to the fun question.
Let's do it. Fun question.
Fun question this week. Are you more of a book or movie person?
Oh, easy. I'm a movie guy, and I always go back and forth because a few years ago I taught English in high school here, and we would always kind of go back and forth, which is better, which is easier. I know a lot of my book people like to paint the picture themselves, but I like the visual effects. I like to see what the directors and editors can put together there. So definitely a movie person.
What's the last movie that you watched and when?
Oh, man, with my kids. I'm trying to think. What did we go see? Oh, something in theaters. Now I'm blanking out. I'm sure it was like some kind of Marvel movie or something. My boys are really big into it. My middle kid, Jordan, he's a big-time X-Men guy. So I'm sure it definitely had to do something with that. It might have been Spider-Man or the latest Spider-Man or something.
All right. Thank you for the time, Coach. Appreciate it. Best of luck.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
That was our coaches' interviews brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. Back with more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show right after this. This is West Virginia High School Football and Talk Radio, WRNR, WRNR TV on YouTube.
November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States, and sadly, West Virginia has a higher rate of lung cancer than the nation as a whole. WVU Medicine reminds you that CT lung screenings can save lives. The WVU Cancer Institute at Berkeley Medical Center's Lung Cancer Screening Program provides screenings, evaluations, and counseling for patients at high risk of developing lung cancer. For more information, contact the Lung Cancer Screening Program Nurse Navigator at 304-264-1287.
With a great selection comes great possibilities. And at CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg, the possibilities are endless. Shop our amazing selection of new vehicles like the Ram 1500. And right now, save on new Jeeps like the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee models. Plus, every Jeep purchase comes with our Jeep Wave program. So wherever your possibilities take you, you'll be connected. Shop CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg today. Owners just care more.
Provide.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Order number 2001.
It's not rocket science. Get a 12-piece chicken for $12 at happy hour from 5 to 7 p.m. with the Rocks app. Want the kids to warm up to you? Get a gas fireplace from Roach Energy. Roach Energy. Call 304-263-3329.
We are back here live at Cardinal Stadium for the final portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, about 7.5 minutes away from kickoff here for round one of the West Virginia High School Football Class 4A playoff. Tonight's contest is between Spring Mills and Hedgesville, the 2 versus 15 matchup. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. On-site producers John Alderton. Cameramen are Matt Miller and Marcus Jordan. Back to the studio is Nick Verzolini. Let's now get into our starting lineups, brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions, a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs. Visit them online at bodwellinsurancesolutions.com or call them at 304-283-0864. Get the starting lineups here. So, Dylan, if you want to get your batch of hot chocolate as well, since you didn't get it in round 1 while I give out our lineups, trying to stay as warm as possible here in the press box. At left tackle, offensively, we'll begin with the visitors for Hedgesville. It's number 51, Isaiah Newman. Left guard, it's number 56, Donovan Young. At center, you have number 54, Brody Faircloth. Right guard is number 52, Levi Faircloth. Right tackle is number 72, Spencer Haynes. Wide receivers, you have number 2, Gavin Young, number 7, Jake Young, number 13, Brett Pedersen, and number 24, Jacob Kerr. At running back, it's number 3, Dalton Harper, and at quarterback, it is number 4, Chaz Milburn. Defensively for Hedgesville, on the defensive line, it's number 40, Dustin Boley, 51, Isaiah Newman, number 52, Levi Faircloth, and number 13, Brett Pedersen. Linebacker, you have number 28, Noah Farrell, number 30, Braden Boley, number 24, Jake Kerr, and number 38, Luke Bird. At corners, it's number 23, Chris Williams, number 2, Gavin Young. Free safety, it's number 15, Allen. Hedgesville is coached by Matt Faircloth and are 2-8 on the season. Now for Spring Mills at left tackle, it is number 52, Prophet Guillaume. At left guard, it's number 53 tonight, Abel Meza. Center, it's number 56, Braden Kirk. Right guard's number 75, Kevin Shank. Right tackle is number 74, Henry Eiler. At wide receiver, it's number 2, Keon Mills. Number 3, Tyree Ramey. Number 4, Xavier Anderson. And number 14, Chase Shipley. Running backs, number 9, Blake Sanders. And at quarterback, it is number 15, Max Anderson. Defensively for Spring Mills, they go with a 3-man front. Number 4, Xavier Anderson. Number 53, Abel Meza. Number 52, Prophet Guillaume. Linebackers, it's number 35, Devin King. Number 50, Chris Butts. Number 8, Rylan Swartz. Number 6, Bradley Butts. Corners, it's number 7, Isaiah Wong. And number 14, Chase Shipley. Safeties are number 2, Keon Mills. And number 15, Max Anderson. And that is the starting lineups, brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions. Turn you back up here, Dylan, while we get our keys to the game, which are brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere.
On the Hedgesville side, I think that misdirection is going to be their best course of action when it comes to Spring Mills. I think if Spring Mills knows where the ball is going, they're going to be able to get to it. So I think the key is to throw them off their game and try to get them going the wrong way so that you can take advantage of that. And for their defense, I think you try to cut off the deep ball from the Spring Mills passing attack. Now, the weather might cut that off itself, which will help you out. But I think otherwise that if you can get to that, to force Spring Mills into the short passing game, into the run, it can at least make things easier on your defense to know perhaps what's coming. On the Spring Mills side of things, I think if your offense can hold on to the ball, not turn it over in this weather, then I think you're going to have a pretty good time on offense to where you're not giving the Hedgesville those extra possessions and giving them those extra chances to put points up on the board. And they need to try to make life hard on the quarterback. If Chaz Milburn can get some easy throws and get into a rhythm, and he has time to pass when they do pass the ball, depending on how much they do it, then I think it can open things up for the Hedgesville offense. And maybe Hedgesville can get some things going. get some yards, get some points up on the board. But otherwise, if you start there at the quarterback spot and make it where you have to run the ball, then your defense should be set.
Both teams coming out of the locker room and heading onto the field now on their respected sidelines. For Hedgesville on the far side, they have the white helmet with the white uniform and gray pants. For Spring Mills, it's the blue helmet, blue jersey, and white pants with Cardinal red socks. We'll step aside, take our final break here at the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, and then it'll be time for kickoff. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Football and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV10. We're back in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
And that concludes today's pregame show.
We play every play like it's the most important play of the game. Let's go.
Coming up next, it's the starting lineups, opening kick, and play-by-play action of West Virginia high school football. Today's game is being brought to you by
Orsini's Home Store, Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, The Palace Lounge, CMA Honda, the Berkeley County Health Department, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, CMA Chrysler Dodge, WVU East, the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, RAI Properties, Parsons Ford, Rocks, John Hardy, Gary Kelly Allstate, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
And now, let's go back to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Back live here and ready for kickoff here in round one of playoff football. It is Spring Mills kicking off to Hedgesville to begin this one. Our kickoff is brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. It's a short line drive kick that bounces around the 10. It is returned on the far sideline by Hedgesville across the 20 to around the 25-yard line by, I believe, Gavin Young out there to begin this one. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the for the Eagles with 11:52 here in the first quarter. We'll see this Hedgesville offense start off at, it looks like they give them the 26-yard line.
Chance to see the Spring Mills defense at work to start off the game. See if Hedgesville, at least in some sort of opening script, can get something going.
My apologies. Actually, the 23-yard line had my lines messed up for our angle, but 1st and 10. They have Milburn under center for this one, and they go with a hard count. A lot of motion up front. Now a late flag comes out, and it is a encroachment penalty called against Spring Mills. So 5-yard penalty will make it 1st and 5 at the 28.
Well, there's one way. One ingredient to an upset is penalties. If Spring Mills gives Hedgesville free yards and make everything easier, 1st and 5, obviously a lot easier to start your drive out.
Milburn hands it off to Harper. Harper tries to cut on the outside, lowers his shoulder, carries himself across the first down marker. That's actually Jake Young at running back, so first down to Hedgesville. We talked about it during the pregame show. Wasn't sure if he'd be back there. He's switched over to wide receiver here midway through the season, but now he's back at running back. They kind of are going with that wishbone look, and it's another handoff to Jake Young, but this time Spring Mills is there, and it's going to be a big loss on the play as momentum just continued to carry him backwards. It looks like forward progress, though, is only making it a loss of about 5 yards or so to make it a second down and 15.
And to me, that's a good example of when Spring Mills knows where the ball is going, they can get there very quickly. I think they keyed in on that one pretty quickly. After the first carry went to Young and went back to him, and that time they were just in the backfield immediately.
Looks like they say only a loss of 4. Second and 14, ball at the 32-yard line of Hedgesville. Milburn making sure he has his running back set behind him before he gets set under center. Everybody pretty much in the box. Now some motion up front. Play clock also at 0, so not sure which penalty we'll see here. That looks like it's a delay of game penalty called against Hedgesville, so back him up another 5 yards and make it a second and 19 at the 27.
That's just the exact opposite of what the point I made when Spring Mills had the penalty. You make things hard on yourself on offense. It's self-inflicted errors that you don't need.
Try to go back to the run up the middle, but again, Spring Mills' defensive line breaks through and brings them down for yet another loss on a play.
Already close to erasing the 8-yard gain that Jake Young had at first. He's lost 5 on his next 2 carries.
So that makes it a 3rd and 20 now. Ball at the 26-yard line. They break the huddle again. Milburn with a wing tee. They hand it off here, and it's a run out to the near side for Zakai Bryant, I believe, on the carry that time. And again, nowhere close to a first down as Bryant might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but I don't know if he actually did or not. Tough.
It's looking like I think they're saying he lost 4 yards.
So on comes the punt team somewhat here. They're going more with a pooch punt style. It's a quick, low wobbler that might have been deflected, and it'll be downed by Jake Young at the 44-yard line of Hedgesville. So that only a 22-yard punt. So Spring Mills gets solid field position, 1st and 10 with 8:57 to go in the first quarter.
And by my count, at least the end result of that drive, even with a nice run on your very first one, is Hedgesville is at -1 rushing yards. So the defense is stifling. Absolutely.
Anderson under center. Gets the snap. Will hand it off to his back, Blake Sanders, who tries to go up the middle, but is met by Levi Faircloth, and then Isaiah Newman rallies to help alongside Donovan Young. Only a yard gained on the carry, and that'll make it 2nd down and 9.
It's interesting. Spring Mills going to a heavy look to start this one. Seems like a weather adjustment to me. I've never seen them run this, but
I'll go back to the same thing, and it's blown up this time by Levi Faircloth. He's able to break through, and as soon as it went into the arms of Sanders, Faircloth was there. A loss on the play will make it 3rd down, and they say only 1 yard, I believe, loss, so 3rd and 10. Ball at the 44.
Now this is the situation where you're going to need the deep intermediate passing game to probably work in your favor. You could run the ball in this situation.
Spring Mills now goes in the gun, 2 receivers to each side for Max Anderson. He gets the snap, drops back, looking to pass, has all the time in the world in the pocket, Now throws it, but throws it too far in front of the feet of his intended receiver. It falls incomplete. We'll see if the offense stays out for the Cardinals or not. It looks like it is, as that pass intended for Tyree Ramey was incomplete.
It looked like man coverage across the board in that situation. I think Max Anderson should try to realize that and go and take off with that one. I think he could have picked up some yards with his legs.
Got a timeout here so that they can get, I believe, a dry football exchanged in here with the very wet field condition. Rain, I believe, still somewhat coming down. Not as much as it was earlier, but you can still see it. 4th and 10. Ball at the 44. Anderson gets a snap, drops back the pass, pump fakes, stays in the pocket, trying to find somebody open. Now he takes off up the middle. There goes Anderson, jukes past one man, trying to cut on the far side, stumbles and will just fall and get tripped up all by himself, but it's enough for a big first down on the 4th down as he falls at the 21-yard line. So a 22-yard quarterback keeper.
And it's exactly what he should have done on the last play. Pretty much Hedgesville's going with man-to-man coverage, which leaves the middle of the field open. There's no one in the zone. There's no QB spy.
Screen pass to the near side on a bubble screen, caught by Xavier Anderson from Max Anderson. Xavier goes right down the hash marks on the near side and will be tackled at the 15-yard line. Bring up a 2nd and 4 on the 6-yard bubble screen.
And there you go. Go get things going quick to the outside.
2 receivers to each side, shotgun formation. Anderson takes the snap, drops back, looking to pass, chucks it on the far side of the end zone as a man open. Looks good. Did he get a foot in? He did. Touchdown, Spring Mills, with 6:58 to go in the first. It is 6-0 Cardinals on top of Hedgesville. Keon Mills, I believe, with the touchdown catch to open things up for the Cardinals here at home.
Just a great throw on the corner route from Max Anderson. I'm not sure what those first 2 plays in the heavy formations were, because Spring Mills pretty much abandoned it and immediately got their offense to move the ball. But that's what we know their offense to be. Spread offense. Max can pass it or run it. They can hand it off.
High snap. Holds down. The extra point kick is up and good to make it 7-0 Spring Mills with 6:58 to go in the first. They lead Hedgesville. Step aside, take a 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Football on Talk Radio, WRNR, WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Back here at Cardinal Stadium, Spring Mills up 7-0 now against Hedgesville. Young back to return for Hedgesville alongside Brett Pedersen.
Matt, your camera is out.
And it's going to be a short squib kick that is bobbled around the 30. And now a fight for the football. Spring Mills is acting as if they have it. Waiting for the officials to point, and they do.
Gave it to them. Yep.
So the squib kick works to perfection, and Spring Mills gets the ball back in Hedgesville territory. Wait to see where they spot the ball here and quickly get our scoring drive summary brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool from Floor Pools.
6 plays, 43 yards, a touchdown, 15-yard passing touchdown from Max Anderson to Keon Mills, make it 7-0.
1st and 10 at the 32. Anderson takes the snap, drops back the pass, chucks it deep, has a man wide open on the near side. Jump ball because it was underthrown and nearly intercepted. Breaking up that pass was Chris Williams, as it was, I believe, jump ball for DJ Mayer. And that'll bring up second down.
Max had him. If he puts a little more on that ball, it should be a touchdown. Those are the type of plays that Spring Mills can kill you with and then open up the rest of their offense. If you got to account for that, put 2 safeties over the top, that's one less guy in the box to stop the run, then they can just kill you from all over the place at that point.
Anderson, shotgun formation. It's a snap. Hands it off to Blake Sanders on the outside zone. Sanders cuts back in. Now it's going to be hit by Brett Pedersen, but he lowers his shoulder, gains an extra few yards, might have picked up a first down. It's going to be very close.
I think
Looks
they gave
like
it
might
to
have
him.
Stopped him a yard shy, waiting to see. Nope, you're correct, Dylan.
Yeah, okay.
They're moving the chains now. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line, so exactly enough for that first down. 2 receivers to each side now for Anderson. Shotgun formation. Sanders lined up to his left. Anderson takes the snap, drops back the pass. Now rolls to his right, still looking downfield. Has to evade pressure as he throws, and he'll just throw that one out as he was being dragged down on the play by Braden Boley, the linebacker for Hedgesville.
Braden Boley they had as a QB spy on that play. They also, Jake McCare, both the linebackers were spying Max Anderson that time, and so they went with the man coverage, but it was more of a cover 0 look, not having those 2 safeties over the top, and then those guys, Boley came down and put the pressure on Anderson.
And it appears we are hearing down below that there was a defensive holding penalty called against Hedgesville, 10-yard penalty.
That was a lot of time for those DBs in coverage to try to, stay with their receivers. And they were covered. It was, the overall Hedgesville had been doing a good job. That's why Anderson had to roll out and eventually sort of just throw it away or make a throw into contested coverage. But obviously, one of the receivers was held.
It's a 10-yard penalty. It should move the chains, I believe. Yes, I wasn't sure why the chain gain wasn't moving when the white hat was telling him to, but 1st and 10.
And you just had to say it a little louder.
13-yard line. 2 receivers to each side. Anderson, shotgun formation, gets the snap. Huge hole for Blake Sanders right up the middle. There he goes, untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Spring Mills. 6:29 left now here in the first. It is a 13-0 Cardinal lead on top of Hedgesville.
Ever since Spring Mills has opened things up into the spread offense out of the shotgun, they have not. Hedgesville has not been able to, with those lighter boxes, take advantage and stop the run. The Spring Mills offensive line has just been able to dominate the defensive line, and the linebackers and safeties aren't as close to the line of scrimmage anymore.
Extra point kick up and good, making it 14-0. Step aside, take a 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School playoff football on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at FordofHagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
Back live now, a 2-touchdown lead for Spring Mills against Hedgesville in the first quarter with 6.5 minutes left on the clock. Spring Mills to kick off. Young and Pedersen back to return again for Hedgesville. And this time it's going to roll at the 10 and out of bounds. Gavin Young just trails it out, and that'll be a legal kick against Spring Mills. Hedgesville, decent field position here. So we get our scoring drive summary brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown, including a brand new pop-up location inside the Valley Mall that just opened up today.
3 plays, 33 yards. That's a 10-yard run, 13-yard run for a touchdown by Blake Sanders with that defensive holding in the middle. And just like that, a little less than halfway through the first quarter, it's 14-0 Spring Mills.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line for Hedgesville, who's also going to spread things out themselves now, down 14-0. Go with Milburn shotgun formation, 2 receivers to each side. Running back lined up to his left, I believe, Dalton Harper in at running back. Send a man in motion, and they fake the motion now as it's a handoff to Harper, who's going to try to cut to the outside of the line, bounces off a man. I believe that was Spencer Haynes, his own right tackle, that he kind of bounced off, tried to regather, but then was tackled. So all that for no yards to bring up 2nd and 10.
Might have even lost half a yard on that one. I think he just kind of tripped up. Yeah, the field is slick out there. I wouldn't be wanting to play on this surface.
Yeah, you can see it for those tuned in on our stream, just the glare because of the moisture on the turf from the stadium lights. As passing play here to the near side, it's a screen in and out of the hands of Jake Young. That'll bring up now a 3rd and 10 as they kind of went with that tunnel screen here for Young on the near side.
I think Young's got to be a little bit better about how he approaches that ball. He didn't get all the way in front of it, try to catch it out in front of him. The throw was a little off target by Milburn, but it's one that he should be able to adjust to. Young is, kind of running towards the ball. It has some room to adjust to it, but it could have also been a little more on target.
3rd and 10, the 33-yard line. 3 receivers bunched together on the near side, 1 on the far side for Milburn. And they're going to hand it off to Harper. He goes up the middle across the 35 and is cut at the knees at the 37-yard line to bring up a 4th down and about 7, maybe 6.5 yards to go.
I'm not surprised that they're already in 4-down territory at this part of the field. So that made things a little bit easier. But you're going to have to pass here, see what your sophomore quarterback can do.
4th and 7. They kind of have him back appeared to punt. They're going to go with that quick pooch punt again for Milburn. It's a high one that bounces at the 38, but takes a solid roll inside the 30 and will be downed at the 29-yard line of Spring Mills, which stops the clock with 5:07 left in the first. It's Spring Mills 14, Hedgesville nothing. Our first quarter is brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Give them a call at 304-350-1931 or WHMsystems.com, as well as Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com.
Well, the play call on 3rd down made me think that they were going for it on 4th down, but I don't blame them for punting there still. It's early. It's only 14-0.
2 receivers to each side of the formation. Shotgun formation. High snap. It's being chased down. Rolling on top of it was Anderson, but he didn't get there, but he gets help after it kind of squirted out from behind him. Couldn't tell who was the helper there to recover the fumble.
I think it's
for
Keon
Spring Mills. I believe you might be correct there, as they're kind of all huddled together now, but a huge loss there because of that high snap that went by Anderson. Ball now at the 10-yard line.
He lost 19 yards there. I mean, that's why you punt in a situation like this. You can still have plays like that happen in this weather.
2nd and a mile now. Anderson drops back the pass, throws it on the far side. It's caught around the 20-yard line. Goes the receiver being brought down on the play. So they get at least 10, maybe 11 yards back on that completion to make it still 3rd and long, but not as long. As that was Chase Shipley with the catch. Young on the tackle.
And I like that play call. You're not going to get it all back in one play.
Anderson, 3rd down. It's a clean pocket, now rolls out to his left, trying to extend the play. Flag thrown. And he's going to just have to throw that out. Great coverage that time by Hedgesville, giving Anderson nowhere to go receiver-wise.
Yeah, that's the luxury of getting a team in the 3rd and long. You can play back a little bit more, knowing that a check down isn't really going to do that much damage to you. And the pressure was able to get there. I mean, it looks like I think we're going to get holding calls on Spring Mills. There was multiple flags thrown, which obviously Hedgesville would be smart to just decline and bring up a 4th and long.
Yeah, you expect that to be the case. 3:54 left in the first quarter. It is Spring Mills 14, Hedgesville nothing. Still waiting for the officials to converse here on the penalty. Waiting to hear what the white hat has to say.
Against the offense. First foul, holding. On the offense, and penalty is declined. Second penalty, intentional grappling. Quarterback on the offense, 5 yards on the spot, lost it down.
So not sure how well that was picked up on our crowd mic or not, but there were 2 penalties on the offense. Holding penalty declined, and then an intentional grounding that will be accepted to back up Spring Mills 5 more yards, and also the loss of down. So it is 4th down and very long, not as long as it originally said on the scoreboard. It said 4th and 89. Now they've changed it to the correct 4th down and 35 from the 7-yard line to Spring Mills.
It might feel like 4th and 89 with the punter in the end zone.
Punt is clean and away. It's a wobbler, though, that's going to go out of bounds. So a tough one here for special teams tonight. So Hedgesville with great field position as that, from my angle, went out around the 24-yard line or so. We'll wait to see what the officials rule it as. But
yeah, that's what it looks
left
like.
In the first.
23, it looks like. And there's the mistakes along the margins that can go in Hedgesville's way. Hey, you get that punch, you get the lucky bounce on it to get the better yardage. You get an intentional grounding and a holding penalty,
and a
bad snap, and a bad punch. You're almost in the red zone to start your drive.
Go with the hard count. 2 receivers to each side for Milburn. 1st and 10 at the 23 for Hedgesville. Snap back, handed off to Harper. Harper patiently tries to wait for a hole, now cuts right, and is right into a lineman, only picks up about a yard or 2 to bring up 2nd down.
It's going to be a tough task to run on this team. If there's not any sort of misdirection to it, if it's running back lines up to the left, you run it to the right, that's pretty predictable way to run the ball. It might not work out too well.
Send a man in motion from right to left, so 3 receivers now on the near side as the ball snapped. Plays, though, whistled dead as flags fly as that ball was being snapped. With 3:10 left here in the first quarter, it's Spring Mills 14, Hedgesville nothing. And the way Hedgesville's starting to back up, it appears that it's against Hedgesville, and it is a false start penalty.
Yep. Not doing yourself any favors here.
You're not. Makes it 2nd and 14 at the 27. What were you about to say, Dylan?
You're just not going to get anywhere if you're moving yourself back. Spring Mills is going to do a good bit of that themselves, tackling you in the backfield.
Milburn takes the snap, drops back, looking to pass, caught underneath on the near side by Harper. But that is going to be a tough one as he's brought down for a loss of 3. Ball now at the 30-yard line will bring up a 3rd and 17.
To me, those are the sort of play calls that you run when you have the athleticism advantage. And I don't think that the Hedgesville offense has it against the Spring Mills defense specifically. It's a play you want in your playmaker to get out wide, your blockers to quickly make plays out to the second level, give them some room to operate. But Spring Mills defense is so fast out to the perimeter. I don't think those kind of play calls are going to get you anywhere today.
Going to get a timeout taken. Step aside, take a 30-second break for the timeout. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Football on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and will give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Back live here at Cardinals Stadium. Timeout is brought to you by the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. Looking for a home in the tri-state area, call the Larry DeMarco team at 304-250-3551. Visit them online at modernrealtyresults.com. 2:13 left in quarter number one. It's Spring Mills 14, Hedgesville nothing. Hedgesville with the ball, a 3rd and 17 at Spring Mills 30-yard line.
I think if you're Spring Mills, you can go either way here, I think. I don't know if you can go wrong with bringing a blitz or just dropping back and seeing if Milburn can make a tight throw.
Two receivers to each side from Milburn, who's in shotgun formation, running back line to his right. Takes the snap, looks to pass on that far side as he throws, but it's complete to his running back, Chris Williams, who immediately runs to the outside. It's going to get pushed out of bounds. You have a flag in the backfield, which appears to be a roughing the passer. Now you have a flag over around where Chris Williams went out of bounds. So that'll stop the clock here with 2:06 left in the first, and we'll have to wait and see what these two flags are for.
Well, Spring Mills went the blitz route, brought 6 guys, cover 0. The problem was no one picked up the running back out of the backfield. He ran a wheel route, and he was wide open. Either that or the man was just too far away to get there before he can make the catch and have open field.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. On the defense. Holding for 13. Defense.
Oh.
Stanley's punt. Repeat the down. 3rd down.
Offsetting.
So offsetting penalties with the roughing the passer and the offensive holding penalty. So we'll redo the 3rd down, ball at the 30-yard line.
Well, that was by far the best play that Hedgesville's offense has had so far. I wonder if Buddy Hessen goes the other way on this call now and drops 7 or 8 guys.
2 receivers to each side. Milburn sends Young in motion, takes a snap, drops back the pass, chucks it deep on the near side for Gavin Young, who dives for it but can't get there. Trying to say that he was being interfered with, but not getting the flag. So that'll bring up a 4th and 17 now.
Spring Mills brought the blitz again, which I think is showing to be probably the right strategy. I think you could go either way on that one, but Milburn has way less time to process. He's just got to go to a hot route, and that time it's just a streak down the field to Gavin Young. It would have had to be the perfect throw with a great catch, and just couldn't do it.
Offense staying out there here for this 4th and 17. Milburn ran out of time on the play clock, but they say he got it off anyway, but it doesn't matter. It's coming off the edge. A blitz from a linebacker, blowing that play up, getting the sack on Milburn. And that is King with the sack. Devin King makes the turnover on downs, giving Spring Mills the ball at its 40.
That's just a blitz off the right end that the right tackle did not pick up. And it was a late one. He came down to the line of scrimmage at the very last second, timed it up incredibly well, and it turns into a sack for him and for the Spring Mills defense and a turnover on downs.
So 1st and 10, they actually say it's the 39-yard line, not the 40-yard line. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side for Max Anderson. Running back to his left, they send a man in motion from left to right. Read option, Anderson keeps it, now follows Sanders, and there goes Anderson on the far side. Cuts inside. There goes Anderson, still going at 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Spring Mills. It only took one play to go 61 yards for Max Anderson with 1:40 left in the first. It's Spring Mills 20, Hedgesville nothing.
And it was a broken play. I think the handoff was supposed to go to Blake Sanders there, although it looked like it could have been sort of a power read where Max Anderson has the option to pull it out himself and take it. But the handoff exchange, the attempt at it, clearly did not go the way that they wanted it to. So it was kind of forced into Max Anderson's hands, and he made a couple moves, and man, he is just so athletic. It's incredible.
Low snap, but Youth Smith's extra point kick is up and good to make it 21-0. Step aside, take a 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Football on Talk Radio WRNR, WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We welcome you back. 21-0. Spring Mills leads Hedgesville here in round 1 of the Class 4A playoffs. Hugh Smith's kick. It's a line drive that bounces at the 15, caught around the 10 by Gavin Young. Young runs to the near side trying to follow the blockers, but runs right into the arms of a Spring Mills Cardinal at the 21-yard line. So let's get our scoring drive summary, brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool from Floor Pools. My guess today, hot tub.
That would definitely be my choice. This summary will be very comprehensive, as this was a one-play drive, 61 yards. Max Anderson takes it all the way for the touchdown, makes it 21-0 here late into the first quarter.
Yep, a minute 33 left in the opening quarter. Hedgesville breaks the huddle. It's Milburn with Harper in the backfield. 2 receivers to each side. Goes shotgun formation for Chaz Milburn, the sophomore quarterback. Spring Mills adjusts its coverage. It's a handoff to Harper, who tries to go up the middle, but right in the hands of Abel Meza, who wraps him up and brings him down on the loss of 2. Make it 2nd and 12.
The spread run for Hedgesville has yet to go anywhere. I mean, to be fair, not much of anything has gone much of anywhere for Hedgesville so far. Spring Mills is attacking the backfield.
Go with the hard count. No jumping this time from Spring Mills here on the 2nd and 12 at the 19, under a minute left on the rolling clock. 2 receivers lined one up behind the other on each side. It's a screen pass caught on the far side by Gavin Young, who had space trying to follow the block downfield to Levi Faircloth.
Jacob Kerr.
And that was actually Jacob Kerr. I saw the 2, didn't see the 4 on the jersey. That makes it a 3rd and 2 now on the 10-yard completion to Kerr. Milburn again trying to go with the hard count here on the 3rd and short. 2 receivers to each side again. Faircloth calling out the blitz on that far side, possibly coming from Spring Mills. Milburn trying to get set. 5 seconds left on the play clock. They get the snap off. Pressure on both sides, and pass in and out of the hands of the
No, they called
receiver.
it.
No, Young somehow hauled that in while being hit from behind, and he gets the first down. I thought I saw it be bobbled, but I was incorrect.
It's an impressive catch. He got hit as he caught it. It's the last play of the quarter, too.
Yep, quarter comes to an end, and we'll step aside, take a 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Football on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With a great selection comes great possibilities. And at CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg, the possibilities are endless. Shop our amazing selection of new vehicles like the Ram 1500. And right now, save on new Jeeps like the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee models. Plus, every Jeep purchase comes with our Jeep Wave program. So wherever your possibilities take you, you'll be connected. Shop CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg today. Owners just care more.
Take the stress out of updating and maintaining your home or business with RAI Properties. Serving the community for over 20 years, we specialize in fences, decks, landscaping, and property management. We also provide painting, flooring, vent cleaning, and renovation services. Our friendly, licensed professionals go above and beyond to get the job done right for you. For local service and trusted expertise for your next project, call RAI Properties today.
We welcome you back here, heading to the second quarter. It is Spring Mills 21, Hedgesville nothing here in round one of the playoffs. Hedgesville, however, finally got a first down, 1st and 10 now, at its 32-yard line. Looks like they're going 5 wide. 3 receivers near side, 2 on the far side. Milburn alone in the backfield. Now they bring Harper in the backfield. High snap brought in by Milburn. He hands it off to Harper. Goes up the middle, bounces off 1 tackle, now recharges back forward and will pick up about 2 yards, maybe 3 on the carry to around the 34-yard line.
You can get away with going more spread looks against Spring Mills. They do also run that 3-3-5, similar to the way that Hedgesville does. So they only at one time have 3 down linemen, so if they don't bring the blitz right away, you can get some guys on some double teams under offensive line.
2nd and 8, Milburn drops back the pass, throws it on the far side, intended for Care, but he let him too much. It's incomplete to bring up a 3rd and 8. Whistles continue to blow here after the play, trying to see if there's a flag down as White Hat going over to the far side to talk with another official, but I don't know if I'm just being blinded by a few players as a flag on the field or not. But
I don't see one myself either.
Looks like there might have been one here at the 35, actually. Let's see. The officials. Mike isn't working this time, but via his hand signals, it appears there was a pass interference penalty against Spring Mill, so that'll give Hedgesville a first down on the penalty. Ball now at the 49-yard line for Hedgesville.
Second time that a Spring Mills penalty has pretty much led to a Hedgesville first down, if not on one right away.
2 receivers to each side. Milburn takes the snap, drops back the pass. It's fired on the near side and completed to Brett Pedersen on the screen, and he, however, loses a yard on the play to make it 2nd and 11 at the 48-yard line.
It's another great job by the Spring Mills defense to rally to the ball.
Substitutes coming in and out now on both sides here. Play getting called in for Hedgesville for the 2nd and 11. 10:45 left in this second quarter. It is Spring Mills leading Hedgesville 21-0. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Milburn. This time has a different running back, Zakai Bryant, lined up to his left. Milburn takes the snap, drops back the pass, chucks it deep on the far side, and that's an interception on the far side around the 20. Now running down the far sideline goes the Cardinals. Cutting back in around the 45-yard line, and will have his forward progress stopped. Couldn't tell because of how far away we are from that. Who got it? Believe it was either Max or Keon Mills. Keon Mills, the free safety, with that interception, giving Spring Mills the ball back.
That was just clear that Chaz Milburn decided before the snap where he was going to throw the ball. He wanted to go deep down the field, and it was just not remotely open. It was overthrown as well. It made it very easy for Keon Mills, basically fielding a punt almost at that point. And able to make the interception. A great return by him. Sets up good field position for the Cardinals.
Spring Mills goes wishbone. 3 running backs behind Anderson, who's under center. And Hedgesville just brings the pressure. Levi Faircloth made contact in the backfield. Couldn't bring the ball carrier down, who gets back to the line of scrimmage to bring up a 2nd and 10.
They have not had success when they go these heavy personnel looks.
Taylor on the carry that time.
So far, at the very least, it just makes it easier for. I think the thing that you can maybe do off of this is set up play action pass at some point later.
Yep, they go back to it. Anderson goes with the hard count and gets Hedgesville to jump offside. That'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Eagles with 9:33 left in the second quarter, and that'll make it a 2nd and 5.
Another unforced error.
47-yard line.
So it kind of wipes out the unsuccessful first down play, sets you up 2nd and medium.
And now we have flags on the near side. Waiting to have the official walk over to the white hat. You're on a dead ball penalty, and looks like it's going to go back against Spring Mills.
Offsides on the offense.
Don't see that every day.
I assume that was an offensive lineman.
So, back here to 2nd and 10 at the 47.
All right, so Spring Mills said, no, you earned it. 2nd and 10. You earned the stop on first down.
Anderson under center. Gets a snap. And again, another penalty against Spring Mills. Some frustration setting in here on the near side by the coaches, and it looks like Spring Mills is going to take a timeout to figure some things out here after that penalty. 9:14 left in the second. We'll step aside, take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Football on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
2nd and 15. Go back to that same formation. It's a run with Sanders.
If it were me, I would say, well, we gave it a good try, but let's go back to the spread. If I were them, it just has not worked out so far.
That was actually Devin King on the carry. Say got about a yard to make it 3rd 14 at the 43, so they go back to the spread. 3 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Anderson takes the snap, drops back the pass, and it's a pass on the far side, complete to his brother Xavier Anderson, who spins around on the cutback and tried to pick up the first down, but was pushed out of bounds just a few yards shy. That'll bring up a 4th and manageable in Hedgesville territory, so Spring Mills offense going to stay out onto the field. The receivers again near side, 1 to the far side, and it was a quarterback draw, and that play is going to be whistled dead yet again by the officials, and it's a false start penalty against Spring Mills. As this drive, the Cardinals continue to shoot themselves in the foot over and over again.
6 penalties on them already. We're only 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. There's no need to get ahead of yourself. We're just, maybe it's playoff jitters a little bit. Obviously, they're still so talented that they're up by 3 touchdowns. But
so now 4th and 8 for Spring Mills. Pump fake from Anderson. Steps up in the pocket. Now steps out of the pocket as he felt it collapsing. Still somehow extending the play. Chucks it deep as a man open, and he just overthrows him. as that play was just kind of becoming backyard football. Everybody running around trying to extend it as much as possible. Following to the near side were multiple receivers for Max Anderson to try to locate, but
he was
just overthrew Zane Whip.
I think
that's a turnover on downs.
I think in the end, Whip had kind of stopped a little bit, and Max, I think, was accounting for him running full speed as he threw the ball, which was not the case. He got up to a full speed as he was chasing it down, but it was just a little out of his reach. That's why it makes the penalty so huge. They were just going to run the ball up the middle with Anderson.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And it's a handoff to Dalton Harper that is blown up by Xavier Anderson in the backfield. Another tackle for loss for him. That is a loss of 3 to make it 2nd and 13. It's been pretty predictable to begin drives here for Hedgesville. Feels like each time it's been that run right up the middle with Harper.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of, if any, first down passes, which, Milburn is throwing the ball solid a bit. I think 8 attempts so far.
2 receivers to each side. They send Gavin Young in motion from left to right as Milburn takes the snap. But again, whistles blow. And when they send that man in motion, it's another false start penalty. I believe that's twice now when they've done that here so far in this first half. 5-yard penalty will back it up and make it a 2nd and 18 for Hedgesville with 7:38 left in the second quarter at Spring Mills 21, Hedgesville nothing.
It's just the offense not all being in sync with each other.
Three receivers near side, one to the far side. Milburn, shotgun formation, takes the snap. One-step drop, and pass on the near side, and nobody went to the ball. I think it was supposed to be a screen for Gavin Young, but he was backpedaling, and the pass was 2-3 yards in front of him, splitting him and the 2 receivers in front of him.
The way he kind of acted, he didn't seem to think the pass was intended for him. I don't know who else it would have been for, but
I don't know either.
Strange play.
Yeah, 3rd and 18 now. Now they spread their receivers out, still keeping 3 on the near side, 1 on the far side for Chaz Milburn. Running back lined up to his right. Milburn takes the snap, drops back the pass, steps up, throws it deep, and overthrows his receiver again. As that pass intended for Jake Young on the far side will fall incomplete, bring up a 4th down.
The Hedgesville has, as they have for most of the season, not been able to find what consistently works for them. And Milburn's completed a few passes. He had one 11-yard completion. He had a wheel route out of the backfield on a 3rd and long. They got called back on offsetting penalties.
Going to punt it. Milburn has it blocked. Ball on the ground. And it was recovered by Spring Mills at the 35-yard line. And that's the issue if you line up with a pooch punt. Punter not the traditional 15 yards back, and Spring Mills was able to break through, get a hand on it, and then fall on it at the Hedgesville 35.
I have to think that if Hedgesville had someone on their roster who could act as a traditional punter, that they would have had him out there for that one. Sometimes you just don't, and you have to resort to things like that, and that's what can result.
1st and 10 with 7:10 left in the second quarter for Spring Mills. 2 receivers to each side, and Anderson claps his hands trying to get somebody for Hedgesville to jump off. Now he claps once, takes the snap, drops back the pass, throws it on the far side. It's caught on a little curl route by, I believe that is Chase Shipley on the completion. Actually, Zane Whip on the catch, not Shipley. Ball now at the 31-yard line. Again, now 2nd and 6. 2 receivers to each side. Send Xavier Anderson in motion. Max Anderson's going to hand it off to Sanders. Sanders goes up the middle. I believe flags thrown, as in on the tackle was Faircloth and company for Hedgesville's line. I think Donovan Young might have been there too. Clock now with 6:34 left here in this second quarter, and that penalty going to back up Spring Mills offense.
This second quarter, Spring Mills' offense just keeps shooting themselves in the foot with these penalties. They should really have at least one more touchdown up on the board at this point, if not two already. On this possession.
3 receivers near side, one to the far side, 2nd and 13. Go with an outside run for Sanders. He tries to follow his blocker and kind of just laid out his own lineman there. And that's going to be a loss of 3 on the carry, I believe. Actually, just 2. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 14.
We should note that these teams had a week off that they weren't expecting coming into this week, and probably a weird week of practice, not knowing who you're going to play until, was it late Tuesday, early Wednesday?
Anderson drops back the pass, now scrambles out of the pocket to his far side. He's going to take off down the sideline, has the space, has the first down as he tiptoes and will be pushed out of bounds around the 25-yard line. And that's why you like having Max Anderson if you're the Cardinals. He can do it all for you. It seemed like a play that was going to just be off or not. He's able to extend yet again.
I think
make it work.
They're going to say he was just barely short, that he got about 13 and a half yards on 3rd and 14.
All right. They say right at the 25 he stepped out. So that'll make it a 4th and 1. They go shotgun formation. Anderson takes the snap, keeps it himself, runs right up the middle, has the first down, will be brought down at the 21-yard line. 5:34 left on the clock, which stops here in the second quarter to move the chains. It's 21-0. Spring Mills leads Hedgesville.
Got to give credit to Anderson. When he's been back there with time to throw, he's taken advantage of using his athleticism to get out in space.
2 receivers to each side. Anderson, shotgun formation. Sanders running back to his left. Max Sanderson sets. An outside zone. Sanders, big hole in the near sideline, and he's in for another touchdown. 4:59 left here in the second quarter. It's now Spring Mills 27, Hedgesville nothing. He was lined up on the right side of Max Anderson. They ran him to the left. Great blocking by the receivers to open up a hole as soon as he got to the space outside the numbers. He walks in for another touchdown.
And I think it's the play that Sanders ran into his lineman on just a few plays ago, that sort of power read, buck sweep, pulling guards out of the shotgun to get him out there. And he had the open hole. Hedgesville just couldn't get to the outside quick enough.
Kick is up and good to make it 28-0. Spring Mills leads Hedgesville here in the second. We'll step aside, take a 1-minute break, then be back with more West Virginia High School playoff football after this.
Mother Shuckers. Fresh Florida stone crab straight from the boat to your throat. Blue crabs, king, snow, Dutchness, all available year-round. Try and find that anywhere else around here. Homemade soup specials every day. Mother Shuckers is located at 1014 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Mother Shuckers, we have an opinion. If you don't like it, shuck it up, Buttercup. Come on over to Mother Shuckers.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Back here live, 4:59 left here in the second quarter between Spring Mills and Hedgesville. It's now a 28-0 Spring Mills lead. Hugh Smith on to kickoff. High end over end short kick that's going to bounce at the 15, and nobody went for it for Hedgesville. Falling on top of it is the return man at the 5. And that is Chris Williams getting it. What a disaster there for Hedgesville. You had two men back to return as that kick went right in between them. Neither went for the ball.
Somebody's got to call it, I guess. You don't really expect it to have to do that very often, but I guess that's what needed to be done, and no one did it.
Let's quickly get our scoring drive summary brought to you by Flora Pools.
Spring Mills able to go 43 yards on 6 plays to get into the end zone. 21-yard touchdown run by Blake Sanders.
1st and 10, Hedgesville. 5-yard line of the Eagles. 2 receivers to each side. Milburn tries to send a man in motion. It's Young again, faking that motion, then coming back on that far side. And Spring Mill sends the blitz. So immediately Milburn just gets rid of it on that far side as he's falling backwards. Pass falls incomplete to bring it a 2nd and 10. It's 5 seconds went off the clock on that play to make it now 4:54 remaining in the half.
Yeah, Milburn has just had a really tough time trying to deal with the all-out blitz from Spring Mills. They get right in his face immediately. He just has to get rid of it. Hasn't been able to find an open man.
Go again, 2 receivers to each side for Milburn. Running back lined up to his right. Send a man in motion, and that's going to draw flags, I believe, against Hedgesville.
Yeah.
Second quarter brought to you by Brown Funeral Home and Cremation. Robert Fields & Sons, family-owned full-service funeral home, proudly served in the area since 1880, as well as Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, which is located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. Timeout called. Step aside, take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Football on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, Private Wealth Advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We're back here out of the timeout. 4:54 left in this second quarter. It is Spring Mills leading Hedgesville 28-0 in the West Virginia High School Class 4A football playoff, round 1.
The offense is bumping up against the end zone here.
Yep, it's now a 2nd and 13 ball at the 3-yard line because of the false start penalty against Hedgesville before the timeout, which is a half the distance to the goal penalty, or from the goal penalty, I should say. Man in motion, and they'll hand it off to the running back, who's very close to being stopped in the end zone for Hedgesville. We'll see. Somehow they say he got it out to the half-yard line. That was close from Harper, from possibly being in the end zone for a safety.
I think that he was tackled in the end zone. He was hit in the end zone, but he did manage to fall forward to where the ball landed inside the 1-yard line. I think some of even Harper's body was still in the end zone. That's how close that was.
3rd and 15, ball at that half-yard line. Shotgun formation for Milburn. Gets the snap, drops back to pass, throws it on the near side, and well short of Jake Young around the 7-yard line. Pass incomplete will bring up a 4th down with 4:06 left here in the second quarter.
That's a play call to me that just says that I think Milburn was told in one way or another, just get rid of that ball immediately. Don't give up the safety.
Now he's going to have to try to punt. We saw punts already blocked as they send it again, but Milburn gets this one off. It's a high end-over-end punt that bounces at the 30. And it's going to roll backwards now, and what is going on out there? You thought somebody was about to down it for Hedgesville, but they just kind of had a mental lapse from Brett Pedersen, who let it continue to roll towards the end zone, and finally it was down by somebody else at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 Spring Mills. with 3:57 left here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. Ball inside the 30, but not any closer, is still pretty good for how Hedgesville was set up there.
Go with that kind of sweep run here again on the near side. This time it's Cam Taylor on the run, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds right at the 2-yard line. So a 25-yard run for Cam Taylor will make it 1st and goal on the play that they just had last drive for a Blake Sanders touchdown.
Great blocking from Spring Mills that time from the get out. Again, the same way you said it. That's how they just scored their last touchdown and almost got another one.
Anderson, shotgun formation. Taylor to his right, 3 receivers on the far side, extra blocker to the left side of the line. Handed off to Taylor, goes up the middle, lowers his shoulder, trying to fight into the end zone, but is stopped just shy of the end zone goal line. So a 2-yard run will make it 2nd and goal now at the 1.
Well, we're right back to this goal line, huh? Except the ball going the other way. Feel a lot better about this time, going into the end zone.
They go back to the same formation. Anderson goes back to Taylor again, who continues to fight into the end zone, and this time he's in. Touchdown, Spring Mills, with 3:17 left in the second. It's now a 34-0 lead for Spring Mills over Hedgesville.
Well, the field position game. You get that kickoff from Hedgesville where there's the miscommunication, and you're backed up into your 10, inside your 10-yard line. You get a false start that backs you up even more, half a distance. You're punting out of the end zone, and suddenly Spring Mills' explosive offense only needs one play to get down towards the goal line, and then they stuff it in.
PAT's up and good to make it 35-0 as we step aside now, take a 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Football and Talk Radio, WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer deaths in the United States each year. But do you know the radon levels in your home? Home is a place to live, love, and laugh, not a place to breathe air containing radon. The Berkeley and Morgan County Health Departments are distributing free confidential radon test kits, and you can get yours at the Berkeley County Health Department office in Martinsburg and the Morgan County Health Department office in Berkeley Springs. Protect your home and family. Get your free radon test kit today.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
We're back here at Cardinal Stadium. Still in the second quarter. It is a 35-0 Spring Mills lead over Hedgesville here in round 1 of the playoffs. 3:17 left on the second quarter clock. It's a squib kick right up the middle. Who's going to get there? It's still rolling, and Spring Mills gets there. They get the ball at the 24-yard line. Another just simple squib kick, and nobody for Hedgesville goes for it. Nobody takes accountability, and once again, the Cardinals get the ball back. It's twice now tonight.
You got one player on Hedgesville that was able to fall on the ball, but then it popped out from under him, and Spring Mills able to get the ball on the fall one. Number 41 for Spring Mills falls on the ball and recovers it.
Brian Johnson, the 1st and 10. Carry on the far side.